It's the sound we all love to hear this time of year. It's the Royal Rumble event next Saturday night, less than 1 week away. There's the potential for some massive surprises at this year's Royal Rumble show. So go ahead and hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too, and let's talk about them. Wasting no time, 30 seconds in, 100% I'd expect Naomi to return. Obviously, Naomi left WWE banking on herself, went to Impact Wrestling, now TNA, won the TNA Knockouts Championship, and of course the former SmackDown Women's Champion has now said her goodbyes to TNA, and I'm pretty sure she's going to rock back up at the Royal Rumble, and I think totally deserving. I think she totally deserves that spot. I think she proved everything she needs to prove, and I can't wait to see her back in WWE. Andrade has left AEW. Now, we have a lot of rumours and a lot of speculation on the internet that Andrade is coming back to WWE. I actually agree with that and think he will too. However, I don't know if the Royal Rumble is the right time to return Andrade, so I'm only going to give him a 50% chance. I'll tell you why. Unlike other people, I don't think Charlotte Flair being injured is the reason why Andrade may not show up at the Royal Rumble and may delay his return to WWE. I think the better storyline to fit Andrade in would be the LWO Civil War, because there's a lot of moving parts in this. Of course, you got Rey Mysterio out injured, but also Zelina Vega, his former manager in WWE, has been a huge part of this story. Her acting ability has been literally talked about for weeks every time she's on screen, and seeing how she responds to Andrade being back, potentially on the side of Santos Escobar, could be interesting. Jade Cargill. Now, Jade Cargill was brought into WWE as the next big thing, and we know that she's been training, but I do feel like there's a lot of fans that feel that this hasn't delivered, that they've waited too long. But I do believe Jade Cargill is going to be a star in WWE. She has that aura about her. And I think WWE has proven that they like to highlight her. And I think with all the training, that highlighting of Jade Cargill will continue when she's ready. And I think when is the right time to debut her? And I think the Royal Rumble is perfect. So I'm going to go with 99%. The now former AEW World Heavyweight Champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. Guys, he's not a free agent. There's no way in hell MJF is going to show up at the Royal Rumble. In fact, I'm going to give it a big fat 0% because I'm genuinely that confident. I honestly think if MJF was to show up, that would be the biggest coup in wrestling ever. Because he's literally just come off a huge AEW title run, a huge potential storyline with the Devil, Adam Cole, etc., the now Undisputed Kingdom. And if that gets thrown away because Tony Khan allowed him to go to WWE, why the hell did you book him like that for a year? So it's not going to happen. No. X-Pac. Now, this seems to be a name that this year has been really popular with people thinking that X-Pac could be in the Rumble. Although Sean Waltman has stated on Twitter that there is a 0% chance that he will be in the Royal Rumble. He's literally doing my job for me. But wrestlers lie, right? He's not going to say he's definitely in the Rumble. I just feel like with the wording of his tweet, a few weeks to train. He said that a few weeks before the Royal Rumble, so he had a few weeks to train. So I'm going to ignore him, and I'm going to give him a 75% chance. The Beast, Brock Lesnar. It genuinely feels like a hell of a long time since we've seen Brock Lesnar in WWE, and I do think the Rumble's the right time. So 100%, mainly because I want to see them set up Gunther versus Brock at WrestleMania. While we're talking about being gone from WWE for a while, AJ Lee. Now, I genuinely miss AJ Lee on WWE TV. Her character was a ball of energy, so much fun to watch. And while I don't think she'll be the same former Divas champion that we remember, we do know she's in a relationship with CM Punk. And if hell can freeze over once, surely it can do it twice. AJ Lee in the Rumble. I mean, there's been a few teases by her and stuff like that on Instagram. I don't know. I'm going to say 50%. I want to see it, but I'm not convinced. Liv Morgan! Of course, C Wrestling's going to include Liv Morgan in this video because I do think 100% that Liv Morgan's going to return in the Royal Rumble. I don't think fans care about the arrest and all that drama because of the nature of it. I genuinely don't think they do, and I don't think WWE does either, and I think returning her at the Royal Rumble is just too perfect. Big E. Now, I really struggled with this one because I do feel like returning a former WWE champion who's beloved by the audience, the same audience that nearly watched the man's career and life end on TV, is such a big deal. I want to see Big E reunite with the trio of the New Day. I want that trio to be rekindled. I mean, you can still have Big E as a solo star. You can still have Big E do that. Let's scrap the Vince McMahon bullshit that says he has to be on a different brand, reunite the New Day, and let Big E do his thing. But is the Rumble the right place? Do you know what? For the feel-good moment, yes, I'm going to say it is. So if WWE and Big E are ready to do this, let's do it. Let's give it 100%. Okada is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and while New Japan Pro Wrestling have announced he is not re-signing with them and that he's gonna probably go to another company, a lot of fans have taken that Okada could show up in the Royal Rumble. And while anything's possible, unfortunately news has come out his contract doesn't expire until the end of the month, which is past the Royal Rumble, so for this and that reason alone, 0%. There seems to be a lot of people speculating that Uncle Howdy could be in the Royal Rumble match. Now, this would be very random. There hasn't been a tease or anything like that. So, of course, this is something we can't predict if it happens. It's just people speculating. And I think a lot of people just genuinely want to see the character return. They want to see Taylor return in WWE in some form. A Bo Dallas return, therefore, isn't off the table. But I'm not going to give this any kind of percentage. Not giving it a 0, not giving it 100. Simply because I don't know, and it all depends on WWE and, of course, Taylor himself as to when and if is the right time. The exact same applies to Alexa Bliss, and I won't rank Alexa Bliss. Alexa hasn't been seen since the Rumble last year, and while there's a lot of pictures of her out and about with her husband and baby, it doesn't mean that she's medically, physically okay to wrestle yet. Remember, she gave birth like a month and a half ago, and I've got no idea how long it takes an individual body to heal. So, again, whenever the time's right, let's do it. I don't think it's going to happen yet, though. Tye Dillinger in the Rumble. Obviously, Shawn Spears in AEW. It was announced by Tony Khan at the press conference and Shawn on social media that he's left AEW. And an entrant at number 10... obviously makes a lot of sense. He's also one of Triple H's NXT guys. I could see Triple H wanting to re-sign Tye. So, yeah, let's do it. Tye Dillinger, I'll give it a 10% chance. Jokes. Ken Shamrock is probably the biggest name that WWE never went after again. We know now he's signed to a WWE Legends deal, and he's proven the sands of time don't matter to him. He's more than happy to still continue wrestling. So, maybe... it's a small chance. I'll give it like a 25% chance of happening. Just no. Seriously, no. Vince McMahon is not going to be in the Royal Rumble. And if he is, I'm running straight to Twitter to see the reactions. Now, since leaving WWE, Ronda Rousey has made one appearance on Ring of Honor television. And that was an unsigned one-time thing. Now, I don't think WWE has interest in bringing Ronda back full-time. But a one-time thing in the Royal Rumble, I think, is possible. Again, it's a low chance, though, so I'm only going to give it like 25%. Now, Matt Cardona has made a hell of a name for himself away from WWE. Former WWE superstar Zack Ryder, of course. Now, a lot of people are speculating, obviously with Chelsea Green back in WWE, that he could do a Royal Rumble appearance. While I think that's possible, he's also booked on Jericho's cruise, so I don't think it's possible, therefore a 0% chance. One of NXT's women's division's breakout stars, Lyra Valkyria, has literally proven herself by defeating Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's Championship. And I think with all that momentum, I think with all the aura and all the uniqueness in character that Lyra has, I think you continue that momentum. I think she's in the Royal Rumble 100%. Chris Masters has been petitioning for a Royal Rumble surprise entry spot for a long time. And this year's no different. He's up to it all again on social media. I'd like to see it, but I don't think WWE have that interest, so I'm going to give it a 0% chance. Sasha Banks, obviously now Mercedes Mone, certainly has the entire wrestling world watching to see what her next move in wrestling is going to be. There's a lot of talk of her potentially going to AEW. There's also a lot of talk about her going to WWE. And I feel like if she's going to go to WWE, returning her in the Royal Rumble makes the most sense. It just genuinely does. Especially if you are returning Trinity at the same time, Naomi at the same time. So, do you know what? I'm going to give this a high probability of happening. I'm going to say Sasha Banks in the Royal Rumble. I'm going to give it a 90% chance. I actually think it's going to happen. Michelle McCool is someone we've seen WWE give the spotlight to in the Royal Rumble match in the past. And although she has said on social media she hasn't been asked, she's also said that fans make things happen. So if WWE see the demand, it could happen. But if it hasn't been booked already, maybe they won't. For that reason, 50%. QT Marshall's name is a name that keeps coming up as well. Obviously, we know he's left AEW. We know he's got a close friendship with Cody Rhodes. But with no disrespect at all intended for QT, I don't know if he's a name that WWE fans will be excited to see. Unless you're going to bring him into the Royal Rumble for a storyline purpose where he maybe helps Cody Rhodes to win the Rumble, I don't think bringing QT in is exciting as a lot of the names we've already spoken about. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 10% chance. The Rock returning at the Royal Rumble would definitely be electrifying. However, it would certainly ruffle a few feathers too, because if The Rock shows up, he's winning it. Sorry, Cody Rhodes. But if WWE are going to do The Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, which we still don't know if they're going to or not, this may be the way you have Rock be able to get to Roman Reigns. I honestly don't know if The Rock's going to show up. Easy 50%. I'm split straight down the middle, and I love that I don't know. And that's what makes the Royal Rumble so good. There are so many moments and so many people that we genuinely never expect to see again pop back up, surprising the world, and some are just completely unexpected. And that's the beauty of the surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. I'm 100% on a few people, but that is still speculation. I can still be wrong. I'm allowed to be wrong, and that's perfectly fine. Because I'm excited to see what WWE has in store. The Royal Rumble is here to shape potentially the next year of WWE content. We will be back here on Saturday night for things you might have missed for the Royal Rumble, as well as Raw and SmackDown, of course. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on. Like the video, share the video, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!